What's up? What's up? How's it going? Loading in. Let's see. Oh, sweet! I got some subs on YouTube. Thanks for subscribing, dude. Let's see. I think I've got somebody chatting inside of the YouTube stream. Let me go check. Maybe am I live? Yes. All right, cool. Here it is. Then we got the restream chat, so I can see everything. All right, cool. Anyways, let's get started here. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Andy, aka Aptitude. Thanks for tuning in. Today is episode 13. We're going to continue with our Davinci Resolve Fusion read-through. We're starting to get more competent. We're starting to be able to make things inside of Fusion. So it's starting to get good. This is where the good things, excitement starts. Let me turn off Honkat. Oh. It's just going to be playing in the background. I got to figure out how to launch this with a hotkey rather than just have it off to the side, hidden. But for today, I have the Monstercat music ready, and I was thinking that I want to try and make some cool stuff. Now that we're kind of getting to the next level, and we're starting to understand the fundamentals and get through this section on fundamentals, it's time to try to make cool stuff. I think we have it in us now. Let's try and first of all, I think today I'm going to try and find a piece of music that I like. I'm going to go through the Monstercat library because this is music that I know I can play on stream. I don't know if I can edit and cut to it, but you know, I'm trying here. I'm trying to follow the rules and not get DMCA'd. So, but I think I can download this music, use it as part of what I cut video to. But let's see, what type of music would be nice and cool to cut up some video to. I mean, I personally like progressive house and trance. So probably cutting to music that, you know, vibes well is a good place to start. This is all kind of old though. I mean, let's see the newer music. Let's sift through. I think this is all new stuff here. Let's just check out these songs. Tokyo Drift, I was listening to that. Getting images of like maybe some race footage, some car footage. That seems like that's a whole style on YouTube with like slick car edits. Hypnosis? This is kind of like a thing that we ended up making yesterday on stream. Ambient Portal. This was a song that I tried to grab before. Let's hear. Maybe this was gonna work well. It's kind of chill, like laid back. I'm looking for something with some energy, but not too much energy, because I think like for the super high energy thing, we're gonna want like tons of fancy cuts, and it's just gonna be harder to execute on that. These are new songs here, but let's see. Maybe we could look for stuff in like the 128 BPM range.
Come through, touchdown, shut down. We got the place on lockdown, touchdown.
Honestly, something with some lyrics might work, just because we know how to make. We want to make some motivated lyrics, some animation, some mographs.
Shut down. We got you're the best of the best. You.
Honestly, I like this. I like this. I like it. It's gonna be very like abstract. You know, like stuff bursting, visual music players. I feel like we're gonna let's keep looking though. I kind of like this though. Just don't know how we could edit to that yet. All right, let's go for this one. If you got the option, the wave is better. No, we can download MP3 here. I'm gonna get this, put it into just the desktop for now. And then we're gonna bring this into a new project. All right, let's go. Today is day 13. We were in that project for the last 3 days. Now we've got a new project here. Gonna import media from the desktop because we haven't gotten that workflow all set yet, but whatever. Bring this in. Now we've got footage here. We're in the cut page. We want to bring it into the edit page. And let's find our section that we're going to edit to today. I saw this earlier in the day. So let's just start with like a simple section just to prove the concept of editing to the beat. So what are we going to do here? I think we want to set markers up here. And then we can just listen. We can manually do these markers. We're just listening to the music and setting it to the beat. Okay, let's just try for the proof of concept doing this. I missed them at the beginning. Right there. Yeah, there. Okay, close. And that might be coming in pretty loud. You can press this thing to dim it. And the project, I'm gonna set this to 30. I'm gonna keep it 1080 because I'm streaming this and we're trying to do beat matching. It might get kind of heavy on the processing and we want the audio to play if possible. And then I'm gonna check out, well, just thinking like what does this music stimulate? What thoughts? It's called 4D. Let me turn on quarter resolution, even though we're not playing anything. Oh, here we go. On. It's tough, man. It's still kind of choppy though. Okay, so let's get some footage. I mean, this is a big part of it, is like, where do you source your footage from? I'm thinking of just bringing in some stock footage to play around with. There's probably better sources, but for the sake of getting this ball rolling here, we just check out stock footage. Listen to this song here.
Take me to a All I want is you.
So VJ loop. That's basically what I'm looking for here. Forgot about this. I'm looking for some VJ loops that we can bring into Davinci Resolve and play around with. You know what? I've got some here. So let's just test these out. Got some loaded up, some downloaded. Oops. Gotta get WinRAR on this. All right, and then got some footage here that we can start playing around with. In the song, how's it go? It's like build up and then. So this should be like, we got some clips here. I think some of these abstract VJ loops, something like this right here. Yeah, and we could probably modify the colors and things, but let's start with something like this. Gonna bring them in. So here's our clip. What got me interested, I wanted to figure out how to connect the markers with time remapping, and the key is that let's just like load this in. This is selected. We can open Fusion. Let's add a just a simple effect like a light halation. Okay, that might be the thing. This is basically just going to be flickering to the beat is what my goal is. Just to start off. And so let's just zoom in here. And with this, we go frame 0. We can set a keyframe. What's the thing that makes this flicker? Something like that. Maybe it's like pulsing like that. And just a note, this is not going to be driven by the music. We are going to hand animate this today. We got film saturation level. I think it's this. We go to our next one, our next keyframe here. That one there. You know what? Let's just go to the next set of keyframe. All right. And with our keyframe selected, we could boost it up from here if we want. And I think that's going to be just probably a lot. We want it to sort of come on quickly. Bring this down. This might look goofy, but let's see. Might take some finesse here. I barely see anything. Let's see. Get one here. And there's something else that I'm missing about this. What is this? How do we get the music? Is that in the keyframe section? Hmm. I think it is in keyframes. It should show up here. Is that it? It was like there was another thing you had to do. You had to like add a media in, and that's it. Yeah, just loading a media in for some reason makes the okay. So now we got our wave file showing up. And all right, for the sake of just proof of concepting here, let's flash, or we could flash the invert thing. Invert. We won't be able to miss this. That's kind of cool. We're gonna set one there. I could do like a double flash thing. And let's just get this on the main screen. Okay, we're making some sort of doesn't look that good, but you know what, just proving a concept. Concept being that we got the markers here to indicate the downbeat, and now I'm playing around trying to find some effects. make this sync up with the music. I'm kind of getting carried away and trying to do the dun dun dun, you know, but hey. Trying to find some style to go. All right, that's kind of setting us up for today. Let's hit the... We are on chapter 76, page 1525. Let's see. Color bit depths. So the term bit depth describes how many colors are available in the color palette used to make up an image. The higher the bit depth, the greater the precision of color in the image. And therefore, the greater the color reproduction. The higher precision is most apparent in gradients with subtle changes. Lower bit depth gradients have noticeable banding artifacts, whereas higher bit depth images can reproduce more colors, so fewer, if any, banding artifacts occur. The fusion page within Davinci Resolve always uses 32-bit float bits per channel precision to process images. However, in Fusion Studio, okay, we don't use Fusion Studio. So understanding integer versus float. Generally, 8-bit integer color processing is the lowest bit depth you'll come across for video formats. 8-bit images come from older or consumer-grade video equipment like mobile phones and camcorders. If you try to perform any significant gamma or color correction on 8-bit images, you can often see more visible banding. That's the bad kind of bands. We got 16-bit integer color depth doubles the amount of precision, eliminating problems with banding. Although you can select 16 integer processing for an 8-bit clip, it does not reduce banding that already exists in the original file. Still, it can help when adding additional effects to the clip. This sounds like the best solution until you realize that many digital cameras like Blackmagic Design Ursa Mini Pro and other record in formats that can capture over range values with shadow areas below 0.0 and super highlight above 1, which are truncated in 16-bit. So the 16-bit colored float color depth sacrifices a small amount of the precision from standard 16-bit integer color depth to allow storage of color values less than 0 and greater than 1. Yeah. So 16-bit float, sometimes called half float, is most often found in the OpenEXR format. So OpenEXR from 3D software like Blender, or coming out of Unreal Engine. You export as OpenEXR format and contains more than enough dynamic range for most film and HDR television purposes, yet requires significantly less memory and processing time than is required for full float 32-bit images. So 16-bit is the happy middle place, because 8-bit is not enough. 16-bit's pretty cool. We've got processing at 32-bit float can work with shadow areas below 0.0 and highlights above 1, similar to 16-bit, except with a much greater range of precision, but also much greater memory. With great precision comes great memory usage and processing requirements. Setting color depth in, okay, we don't use Fusion Studio. If you aren't sure what the color depth process is for a tool, you can position the pointer over the node's tile in that node editor, and a tooltip will pop up. Do we get that? Yeah, we do, at the bottom over here. This is 16-bit. This effect. Oh, but the footage is 32-bit. Huh. Tip: when working with images that use 10-bit and 12-bit dynamic range or greater, like Blackmagic RAW or Cinema DNG files, set the depth menu in the inspector to 16 float or 32-bit float. This preserves highlights detail as you composite. All right, good to know. So combining images with different color depths. You can combine images with different color depths in a single comp. When images of a different color depth are combined, the image from the background input, so the background takes priority, determines the bit depth output. Yeah, so it's always the background is the one that determines what the combined images, bit depth, and the resolution, the background. And the foreground images is adjusted to match. Advantages of floating point processing. There are two major advantages to floating point processing that make the additional RAM requirements and longer render times worth your while. The first benefit is that floating point values are more accurate than integer values. And the second benefit is that the preservation of shadow and highlight values that go beyond the normal tonal range. Greater accuracy during using 16 or 32-bit floating point processing prevents the loss of accuracy that can occur when using 8 to 16. Okay, so yeah, we get it. The 16, 32-bit is more accurate. It's got more data in it that can help you get closer to high dynamic range, or it gets you to dynamic range, dynamic range within 16 and 32. And if you have an 8-bit pixel with a red value of 75 for dark red, and the pixel is halved using a color correction tool, the pixel's red value is now 37. Oh, that's interesting. 37.5. Since you cannot store decimal or fractional values in integers, the value is rounded off to 37. Doubling the brightness of the pixel with another color correction tool should bring back the original pixel value of 75, but because we rounded 37 by 2, the red value lost a full point of precision due to integer rounding on a very simple example. This is a problem that can result in visible banding. Oh, okay. Over several color corrections. And similar problems arise when merging images or transforming them. The more operations that are applied to an image, the more color precision is lost to rounding when using 8 or 16-bit integer processing. That's kind of cool. So that's a good example. Accessing extended highlights and shadows. Increasingly more productions are capturing out-of-range images thanks to digital cameras like the Blackmagic Ursa Pro and even the Pocket Cinema 6K camera. These cameras capture very high dynamic range raw images and maintain color detail even in heavily over or underexposed frames. The extended white color detail can also give very nice natural results when blurred, glowed, color corrected, or even just when faded or dissolved. While it is possible to work with these raw images using integer data, doing so results in the loss of extended range values, losing all detail in the highlights and shadows. Float processing makes working with log raw images considerably easier by preserving highlights and shadow details. If you have an 8-bit pixel that has the red value of 200 and a color gain tool is used to double, get 400. However, 8-bit values are limited to a range of 255. So the pixel's value is clipped to 255 or pure red. If now the brightness is halved, the result is half of 255 or 127 rounded instead of the original 200. When processing floating point colors, pixel values brighter than white or darker than black are maintained. There's no value clipping. The pixel is still shown in the viewer as pure red, but if float processing is used instead of 8-bit, the second operation where the gain was halved would have restored the pixel to its original value of 200. Okay, so we've got some color science for you here. Detecting extended highlight and shadow values. Although using float with 8-bit HD video, there's also some value to using float colored depths with 8-bit HD video, where the images require a lot of color correction. Using float helps maintain precision by avoiding the rounding errors common to 8-bit processing, as described above. And then detecting extended highlights and shadows. Although floating point processing preserves extended values below 0 and greater than 1, also called out of range values, the viewer still displays them as black or white. And this can make it difficult for you to determine the overall dynamic range of an image. To discover whether there are out-of-range values in a viewed image, right-click in the viewer and choose Options, Normalized Color Range. Go to Options. Oh, here, Options? No? Color? I don't think that. Oh, this is no. That's for the no options in the fusion settings. Huh? Right click in the viewer, and then you go to options here, and we can go normalized color range. Huh. That's different. To discover whether there are out of range values in a viewed image, right click in the viewer. So I guess there are in this image that we're working with right here. If I go to options, normalized, and it gets a little more gray, I think that just means that this is must be. Well, yeah, this is 32-bit. So when it gets normalized, we're losing some color depth. I don't know. Hopefully you can see it on the stream, but when I do this, when I turn it off, these get a little darker, and when I put it on, everything kind of gets a little more grayed out. Interesting. Normalized. Yeah, so that's using normalized. Enable this display mode rescales the color value. Okay. So this rescales the color values in the image so that the brightest color in the image is remapped to a value of 1. Yeah, so it just pushes things. The super bright colors down to 1, and the darkests are remapped to 0. The 3D histogram subview can also help visualize out-of-range colors in an image. For more info, you can check it out there. But let's see, we can see the 3D histogram. Where is that? 3D, that's not it. That's not it. Over here. 3D histogram, right? And then so that's it. If we go options, how does that show? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to read this thing. if we normalize it, nothing changes in this. How is this? Okay, maybe if you were going to use this to, if you're going to read this, first step is to understand how to read this. So clipping out of range values. When processing in floating point, more color science. When processing in floating point, there may be situations where the out of range values in an image need to be clipped. The brightness contrast tool provides checkboxes that can be used to clip out of range values to 0 or 1. For example, there may be files that contain out of range alpha values. Since the alpha channel represents the opacity of a pixel, it makes little sense to be more than completely transparent or more than fully opaque, and compositing such an image may lead to unexpected results. To easily clip values below 0 and above 1, add a brightness contrast tool set to clip black and clip white with only the alpha checkbox selected. So this is relevant to this image if we want to clip it so that the colors are normalized. Then we do what was it? We do a brightness contrast, brightness, and then we want to make sure that, let's see, what's it say? It says the values below 0 and 1, add a brightness contrast tool set to clip black and clip white with only the alpha checkbox selected. Where's the alpha checkbox here? Oh, these. This? Okay. The alpha, this one? Huh? 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 Wait, hold up. I'm gonna bring in Cat. Huh? Get out of here, Cat. For example, okay, so what? Huh? We got, alternatively, you can clip the range by adding a change depth node and switching to 8-bit. Okay. Let's see that. Change depth. So this should change it. If I go to 16, we should see a visible. I think something's happening. No, I feel like nothing. I don't see nothing. Bollocks. Okay, well at least we're probably doing something stupid. Something a little wrong. But that's okay, whatever. We were introduced. We saw the things. We see the concept. Color science. Cool. And then speaking of color, alright, Cat, you're out of here. Speaking of color, we got managing color for VFX. But before we jump into this, actually let's look at the overview and then get back to the comp that we started today. So managing color for VFX, you've got, this chapter discusses lookup tables, color space conversions, and the value of compositing with linear gamma while previewing the image in your viewer using the gamma of your choice. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh, I really don't care about this one. Oh, we might skim through this. I get that it's an important thing, but for my application, I mean, I'm just not really doing this level of color management at this point. So, being a little selfish here, I think I'm just going to skim through this. Probably after the break, once we get back, skim through this. But for now, let's go back and try and play with this composition that we started here. Try and get something going, something flowing, you know? I want to add a text in here. And this doesn't need to be also. No, let's just add a text. What are the words here? This song is called 4D. What's the name of the song? Bad Computer. I want to see if I can get the lyrics so I can type them in. Bad Computer and Ryan Cross 4D. Bad Computer, Ryan Cross 4D lyrics. No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to be finding them here. 4D. Oh, here it is. Sweet. Higher than the floor. Okay, let's write that. Okay, and this is motivated. This is a floor, and it's kind of like elevating, right? Okay, we're off to a good start. Let's see, higher. And should we try and do that cool text? We do that cool text. That'll be another thing I gotta figure out on stream. Let's go for it. Higher than the floor. Let's try to do follow along text. Yeah. Yes. Let's add this in. Higher than the floor. And the way to do that is right click. How do we follower? It's not a follower. Top name, edit. Set to default. What is the way? Set to default. Because right now this is like a thing that's all together. But we want to do something to how to edit individual letters in Davinci Resolve Fusion.
This is a quick tip for all my DaVinci people out there. Instead of creating 100 different layers of text to create different styles, all you have to do is create a text plus title, go into the Fusion page, right click in the text window and go to character level styling.
That's the thing. Thanks, guy. Thanks, Wampus. Character level styling. That's the thing I was looking for. And now you can select them one by one. But let's find a text for the whole thing. This one's cool. Uh-huh. Huh. Now, how to Also, what happened to our audio? Why isn't it showing up here? Because I've turned... Yeah, there we go. Alright, cool. We got the text here. We're gonna keyframe. We can look at the waveform here. It's a little choppy, but I think this is higher than the floor. I think that's it. So we know. Again, before we get into that, let's find a look for the whole thing. So the whole thing, I mean, we don't have to go revolutionary here. Let's just make it look decent. There, we'll put just a simple drop shadow. Nothing too crazy. Simple drop shadow. That's good. All right. I'm trying to make this not so transparency. Solid? No. Whatever. Good enough. And then when it's on the line that we want, we can animate this. I don't know if this is possible. If we just change it, right? Changes the whole thing. But how do I... There we go. I can just select that and change it to our color. And I got the idea of like kind of making it pop up. I like this being a warm color here. About like the background, we'll make it the warm. And when it's on, it's gonna pop up. How would I do that? If I transform it and pop it up, can I do that? X, no. Y, no. Nope. Nope. Words? Oh. Nope. Nope. Select the individual text. Okay. Let's keep it simple, I guess. Let's keep trying to keep it simple. We'll just have this when it's this text, we have this pop up. Higher. And then let's see if we can manage to get this back to the default. I think it's doable. Hooray! I think that's Davinci Resolve's way of saying 5-minute break. So I'm gonna go take a 5-minute break. BRB. Thanks for sticking around and struggling with me here as we go through the baby steps in our pursuit of making cool stuff. So let's hit the BRB screen. 5-minute break. Yo. Okay, I had 5 minutes to clear my head, and I think this might not be the way to go about this. If we might want to just make a bunch of texts, or animate one word at a time. Seems like a lot of work, but this is really kind of a live learning adventure. So it might be worth it to just experiment, and then we could load up a bunch of different texts, play with a bunch of different text effects, and probably discover a style of try to find a style. So let's do that. Let's just do that. Wait, although okay, let's do that, but in a second. First, I want to just make sure that No, I think this would work. If we have this text higher. Okay, so last time I did this, it blew up, but let's try again. Okay. Higher. And then we got the... Yo, where'd the audio go? Bruh. I need the audio. Okay, whatever. Row. Where did the audio go? Higher than the floor. Oh, this is a thing, isn't it? Where the media doesn't show up. Show the audio. Show the audio. All right, we're just gonna do this blind. So it goes higher than the floor. So let's see if we do higher, and then we put another keyframe higher. Put another. Okay. No. I select this. Okay, we got the text here, and it's in a modifier. So if we select this from the modifier, what? Yes. We set a keyframe here. Huh? This is some good quality content. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Let's kill that. Let's go to the plan B, the backup plan here, which was just to bring in text one at a time, animate the text one at a time. instead of doing this kind of like follow along idea. Figure that out at a later time. Okay, loading up in here. Try number 3. I'm just gonna delete that, delete this, bring in a text. We'll go one at a time. Higher, and we'll just sync it. Sync it. And let's use, we had, what was it? Proxima Nova extra bold italic. And it was a little, make it larger here, and we could make the shading, add an outline to it. Black, black background, a little bit thicker here, and okay. All right. And let's also add a shadow. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like that. And the distance is super far though. Can't we like bring it in? Composite, transparent, solid. Why don't we just like move the shadow just a little bit in? Oh, here, this is it, isn't it? There we go. There we go. This is what I was looking for before. But it's still super far. I don't want it so far from the text position. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Make these the same. 0.011. Okay, and not only that, but I want to save this. Save as I'm just gonna throw this. X. Would this be a template? Edit. Titles. Bro. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick note. How to save nodes and texts in Fusion. I'm gonna look that up afterwards. Okay. Let's just sync it with the audio here. It goes higher. What? Come on. This is such a struggle today. I want to bring. Why? Where did the audio go? Where is my audio in Davinci Resolve Fusion?
On clip. So let's bring a fusion composition and see how it works. Now, if I select my fusion composition and this time I go over to the fusion page, as you can see, I have nothing that has been carried over right here to the fusion page. So if we play it, we don't have any sound. This is very easy to fix. You just need to bring a new media in node and use it just as a placeholder for your music. So here you're gonna hit shift space on your keyboard and you're gonna search for media in and bring that media in your working area. And as you can see, with that media in, we bring over the audio from the edit page. This
Bruh, that's what I got right here.
media in don't need to be connected to anything. It just needs to be in the fusion page, so Davinci know to bring over your audio from your timeline. Also, two things to know, if I play it, as you can see, the audio is starting exactly where my audio is starting here in the fusion page. It's picking up right in that spot. It's not picking up from the beginning. So that's where you'll be able to just sync your motion graphics with your audio from the edit page. Another thing that you've probably noticed is it doesn't bring one specific track. It brings all the audio from the edit page. That include the sound of your clip, the music, and any SFX that you might have used. Now, another technique to match your motion graphic with sound is to use markers, because those markers as well will be carried over to the fusion page and will help you to just define the right spot for a specific animation to happen. You can drop a marker by hitting the letter M on your keyboard and it will just put a marker here in your timeline. Make sure that you have no clip selected when you do so and that the marker is dropped on the timeline itself and not a clip, otherwise it will not be carried over to the fusion page. As you can see right now, for example, if I select this clip and I drop a marker right here, it's been applied to the clip and not to the timeline. Therefore, now if I try to go to my fusion composition in Fusion, I have no marker that has been applied. But if I go back to the edit page, here making sure that I have nothing selected, now if I play it and drop a few marker on the timeline itself, like music, to match your animation, as you can see, those markers have been carried over to the fusion page.
That's what we've been doing. But this audio, left and right, does it need to be stereo? For some reason it's not stereo? What?
Take me to a fourth dimension.
What? Is this a bug? Sometimes I feel like this stuff happens. And it's the Davinci Resolve gatekeepers. Like you have to go through these things. It's just part of the, gotta go through this. So we got like, so what is even happening? The Davinci Resolve Fusion, Davinci Resolve Fusion audio. It's working, but it's like not loading, audio not loading properly. If you get run this file, media info linked through media info. How do I fix audio output in Davinci Resolve? Why is there no audio on my Davinci Resolve Fusion? How do I fix distort? No. How to fix the playback, audio playback in Fusion? This is 46
Are you having
seconds.
this problem where you're playing back in Fusion and you can't hear any audio, but you go back
Oh, I think this is it.
to the edit page and your audio's fine. So to fix this, we're going to go back into Fusion and we're going to add a media in node. and this should automatically update your audio. But if it's choppy or you're missing portions, just head back to frame 0, come over to the inspector, head over to the audio tab, and purge the audio cache.
That's it. Thanks, dude. Thanks. Extra creamy. Thank you, extra creamy. Go to audio, purge.
Now your audio problems should be fixed. I hope that helps.
Yes. Sweet. That fixed it. That's so weird. Alright. Kind of. Okay. We are getting through this. Now we're higher than before. We've gotten... Okay, so we're not going to do animations and things. We're just going to sync it first with the... We're going to block it out, and we're going to sync it with the audio first thing, and then we can go play around with the effects and go crazy with that. Higher, then... And that means that we can do it like this. Higher. This seems like a weird way to do it, but you know what? Just trying to figure out our process. Then the floor. Plug it in there. We change it from here. Select all these. Okay, we can kind of see it this way. So this thing. Okay. Okay, this is good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't think she's actually saying you. Yeah. I think it's you. You. Okay, this is cool. I feel like we're going places with this. Let's block it out. Block it out. You take me. You take me to a fourth dimension. You take to a Okay, and then if we select all these and this, the text names are kind of ridiculous. Do I have to rename all of these? Higher. Okay. Higher. Then the you. It's not you. It's take me. Oh. Come on. Okay. And then we sync these with the audio. Okay, cool. Let's just kind of put this where they're probably going to be and then line it up. Fourth dimension. Okay, I've got a brilliant idea here. Instead of these markers that were just for the beat, we're going to reset them for the vocals. And of course it's skipping, but I think we got closer. We have a better idea of where the audio lines up now. Okay. And that's right. We could be, I mean, with the keyframes, I mean, the markers, we're trying to get us closer, but I could be looking at the waveform again. You take me to she says fourth here, so I'm kind of off with these here. But I feel like we're starting to get closer to how to properly line this up. says take. What does it say? Okay, forget these markers. Markers didn't really work out. Finding more success looking at the waveform. Just trying to read the waveform here. Okay, alright, we got the first verse. We got it. And we even got that little special effect in there. Okay, cool. I'm happy with how we're moving along here. Let's hit this this book here. Managing color for visual effects. That's right. So I'm thinking of skimming through this part because if I were to really set it up, I have to revisit this chapter anyways. And as you see, I'm kind of interested in motion graphics and, you know, making cool videos. They don't necessarily need to be super cinematic yet. But let's see, let's just skim through color management, introducing color management in Fusion, using Resolve color management, using ACES color management in Resolve, using OCIO for ACES color management in Fusion. Only 10 pages here. Let's jump into it. We've got color management. Color management. The simplified goal of color management is to make sure that the image you see on your computer screen is what your audience sees when they view it on a television, cinema screen, or mobile device. For such a simple goal, problems arise that you, as the compositor, must manage. These problems begin with the fact that our eyes see luminance one way and a computer display represents luminance differently. Each capture device records images using a non-linear tonal curve or gamma curve to compensate for the difference. Specifically, Rec. 709 HD gamma curves are designed so that when shown on HD displays, the images have built-in compensation for the display. The result is that HD images on HD displays appear normal to us. Oh, that's a good note, actually. So I want to reread that. So each capture device records images using a non-linear tonal curve. So it's a non-linear like this, or gamma curve to compensate for the difference. Specifically, so Rec. 709 HD is the one that like seems to be the base standard. So specifically, Rec. 709 HD gamma curves are designed so that when shown on high definition HD, not super fancy, just HD displays, the images have built-in compensation for the display. So it comes preloaded with built-in compensation for this. The result is that HD images on HD displays appear normal to us. Then digital cinema cameras have taken the concept of gamma curves further. They use gamma curves as a way to maximize the bit depth of an image and store a wider dynamic range. Digital cinema cameras' gamma curve, often collectively referred to as a log gamma, give more attention to the darker midtones where the human eye is most sensitive. The log gamma is on the right here. This is log gamma. Gives more attention to the darker where the human eyes is most sensitive. This allows them to save images with brighter highlights and more detail in shadows. The problem is that these images do not look normal on any monitor. Clips recorded with a log gamma curve typically have a low contrast, low saturated appearance when viewed on an sRGB computer display or Rec 709 HD video monitor. This problem is easy to fix using a lookup table or LUT. A lookup table LUT is a form of gamma and color correction applied to the viewer to normalize how the image is displayed on your screen. So a clip displayed with a nonlinear log gamma curve on the left, and it's corrected in the viewer using a lookup table on the right. And then all compositing is math. Okay, let's read this. The LUT applied to the viewer only solves the problem in the viewer. Now we come to the larger problem, which is the image data is still using a log gamma curve. Fusion and every other image processing application operates with the assumption that the image data has linear gamma. The image processing filters you apply to images use standard math functions like 1 + 1 = 2, common operations such as those that add pixels like brightness or divide pixels, aka multiply, or composite modes that include multiplication such as screen, and many other compositing tasks assume that 1 + 1 always equals 2. In other words, if you perform an operation that doubles the amount of brightness, then every pixel should be twice as bright. However, if you are starting with non-linear gamma curve pixels are not being adjusted linearly, so some pixels might end up 1.2x as bright, 1.7x as bright, or 2.4x as bright. Now the math is 1 + 1 = 3. The further your images are from linear gamma, the more pronounced the math error. So a Rec 709 HD clip shows less error than a log gamma clip from a digital cinema camera. However, an error is still an error, and the more compositing operations you perform on the image, the more the error is compounded. So you can see a more practical example when you apply filtering effects, such as blur, to an image with any gamma setting. The image probably looks fine. However, if you convert the image to a linear gamma first and then apply the blur, the images, especially those with extremely bright areas, are processed with greater accuracy, and you should notice a different and superior result. Wait, so how do you get the superior result? If you convert the image to linear gamma first and then apply the effects, you get superior results. The answer to these problems is to manage your color before compositing. Introducing color management in Fusion. Images loaded into Fusion by default are not color managed. The image is displayed directly from the file to the viewer without any interpretation or conversion. However, Fusion includes nodes that convert the output of each image to linear gamma at the beginning of your composite. The same nodes can convert from linear black to your desired output gamma at the end of your composition, just prior to the saver or media out node. So this is a log clip converted to linear and then converted to output. So this is how you would convert it to linear. You'd put it through a cine and to a log brightness, contrast, transform, color corrector, gamut, media out. To manually set up. Look at this. I'm reading the whole thing. I'm interested. It's good to go over this stuff. It's gonna. If I continue down the Davinci Resolve path, this stuff is gonna come up. So, might as well read through it. To manually set up a linear gamma workflow in Fusion, use a gamut or Sinian log node after media in, or if there was a loader, to convert them to linear. And then number 2, you apply a gamut view lookup table to the viewers to correct the display of a linear image to sRGB or Rec 709. This stuff, man, I've heard of these things. I know them, but it's not connecting. But hopefully in my sleep it will all make sense. And then before a saver or media out node, insert a gamut or Sinian log node to convert from linear to your target output format. Okay. And then convert. All right, so that's it. Hopefully that made sense to somebody. So converting the linear gamma, whether an image comes from the edit page in Davinci Resolve or from the loader in Fusion Studio, the color and gamma are read directly into Fusion with no modification. For some simple operations on sRGB or Rec 709 clips, this may be fine, but it's not always the ideal way to work, especially for log encoded media. The ideal way to work with log encoded media is to convert images to linear gamma, since the majority of image processing operations in Fusion expect gamma to be linear and will produce superior results. So gamma mode is what Fusion expects to see and wants to see, I guess. So tip, 3D rendered CGI images are often generated as EXR files with linear gamma. The gamma to be linear. Okay. And converting them is not necessary. That's good to know. However, you should check your specific files to make sure that they are using linear gamma. Good to know. Because I have been known to play around with Unreal Engine, and I would like to bring some stuff in once we get a better grasp of how this Fusion page works. The Fusion includes several kinds of nodes you can use to convert the image out of each media in or loader node to linear gamma. So the goal, I guess, is to get it to linear gamma, more or less. No hard rules yet, just trying to make assumptions, trying to figure it out. At the beginning of your composite, and then convert from linear back to your desired output gamma at the end of the composite. These include Sinian log node. The Sinian log node, found in the film category of the effects library, performs a conversion from any of the formats in the log type menu to linear and also reverses the process, adding log gamma back to the clip. This is most often used for images coming from common digital cinema cameras like Blackmagic Design, ARRI, or Red. The Sinian log node is added. So if you're using a real fancy cam, then you probably have to use this Sinian log. The Sinian log node is added directly, although Blackmagic Design, they make some affordable, really nice cameras. I'll say I've got my eye on the 6K one. I feel like that's my big level up camera from where I'm at right now. The Sinian log node is added directly after a media in or loader node. The mode menu chooses the direction of the conversion to or from linear. Yeah, the Sinian log converts it with math. There's the gamut node. And these are all the ones that were shown in this management example. This node management tree for colors. Color management node tree. Gamut control. The gamut node found in the color category of the effects library lets you perform linear conversions based on color space. This node converts to linear or from linear and is often inserted after a media in or loader node, or just before a media out or saver node, depending on where you insert the node. You either choose from the source space controls or the output space controls. Okay, whatever, getting familiar. Just take a look. This is what it looks like. This is the gamut. When converting media to linear gamma, set the source space menu to the color space of your source material. For instance, if your media is full 1080 ProRes, then choose ITU-RBT.709 scene for gamma of... Bro, like how are you supposed to know that? What? I feel like I feel like you just have to know. ITU-RBT709. Oh yeah. Remember guys, we're filming this in 1080 HD ProRes, so don't forget when you bring it in to set the gamma to ITU-R-RBT709. Duh. Everyone knows to do that. Then enable the remove gamma checkbox if it isn't already enabled to use linear gamma. Okay. It's quite simple, really. And then when converting from linear gamma to output, you insert the gamut node before your output node, which is a saver in Fusion Studio, or media out node in Davinci Resolve Fusion page. Make sure the source space menu is set to no change. And set the output space to your output color space. For instance, if your desired output is full 1080 HD, then choose either sRGB or ITU-RBT709 scene for gamma of 2.4. Yeah. And then enable the Add Gamma checkbox if it isn't already enabled to format the output of the gamut node for your final output. Okay. Oh, it's really quite intuitive, really. Media in and loader nodes. Media in and loader nodes have source gamma space controls in the inspector that let you identify and remove the gamma curve without the need to add another node. If your files include gamma curve metadata like raw files, the auto setting for the curve type drop-down menu reads the metadata and uses it when removing the gamma curve. Not include gamma curve metadata, you can choose either a log gamma curve by choosing log from the curve type menu, or a specific color space using the space menu option from the menu. Clicking the remove curve checkbox then removes the gamma. Uh-oh. YouTube, are you with me? YouTube is not receiving enough video. Seems like it's live. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Okay. Alright. Stream status is low today for some reason. It looks alright. I think we're good. Okay, so media in and loader nodes. If your files include gamma curve metadata like raw, then it might have the metadata to do some of this automatically. Clicking the remove curve checkbox then removes the gamma curve, converting the image to linear gamma. And we got media in and loader nodes include a remove curve checkbox in the inspector. We've got file lookup table node found in the lookup table category of the effects library. Lets you do a conversion at using any LUT you want, giving you the option to manually load lookup tables in the ALUT 3 ITX 3DL. Okay, I think we're back. I think the stream just went under for a second. I think I found the reason though. Should be all good. We should be up. Hopefully that didn't split the recording into two. But whatever. Yeah. A little oopsie. I think it was because I had my connection through the Wi-Fi rather than the hard line that I'm connected with. That probably cut me off. Anyways, doesn't matter. Applying lookup tables to a viewer. So if you want to see, ooh, that looks blown out. So images converted to a linear gamma don't look correct. They usually look very dark with extremely bright highlights and oversaturated colors. Happily, even though the image may appear to be incorrect, the fact that Fusion can work entirely with floating point color data means that you're not actually clipping or losing any image data. It just looks completely wrong when viewing the linear state of your image data directly. So yeah, up here you've got the preview lookup tables that you can apply, which we could play around with in our comp here if we want. This is the lookup tables. See if we wanted to, although that's not really how you apply these. Oh, that looks kind of sweet. I have an idea. Okay, now I'm curious. I don't think this is what they had in mind when they about lookup tables, but why not? Why not? Why not give it a try? File LUT lookup table. We put this in here. Settings. What am I missing here? Wait. I want to apply I want to see if I can. What was the thing to apply a lookup table? Is it the gamut? Gamut maybe is the gamut? No. Okay. Might be gamut mapping, but this is not how you're supposed to use this, but maybe we'll find something cool. We know that, I mean, it's like in the default. Default was Fusion View LUT, so it's just like basic. Basic. They're like a basic from image. And wait, now we have this LUT. Okay, so now we are changing the gamut. This is actually changing the gamut. It's not just the viewer. The source. sRGB, that's what we were looking for. I thought, basically I want to find remove gamma. Don't remove it. Okay, cool. And then we want to, I wanted to change this to something cool. I was on Aces, LMT Aces. Again, this is not how I think this is supposed to be used, but we might find some cool stuff in the process by exploring like this. Ooh. Aces. Pre-molt. White point. Oh, we can just kind of go through them. Okay, that's not what I was expecting. We got this here. Wait, we want that. But what if I plug it into this one? Yeah, cool. And then this is or that was the one from before. If we just plug it in here. Yeah. Well, which one looks better? That's cool. Now we're kind of making this footage, you know, more hours. Whoa. That is ridiculous. Color space. Press that thing. Ah! I feel like we're doing something here. Things are happening. Saw a little overlap. There we go. Cool. And how are we doing on time? Oh, it's about that time for a 5-minute break. I'm gonna step away, think about this comp, maybe come up with some ideas to what to do next, to make it cool. I'm already thinking like maybe we wanna. I was thinking at the beginning we wanna just go through and just try different little keyframed animations for each text, make it unique. Maybe try and keep them motivated with the audio saying, like for higher. Could be drifting up into the sky. That's motivated. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Then we've got the time here that it's on. On the transform. Huh? Oh? Do I need to add a transform in here? That... What? Oh, because I'm on the last frame here? Why do we not see this? We also don't need to see that thing anymore. Uh-oh. Maybe a 5-minute break is just what we need. Okay, what happened? Where'd it go? Okay, it's a 5-minute break type moment right here, I think. BRB in 5 minutes. Dang. This whole time. That's alright. I was working with my mic muted. Dang it. Anyways, I mean, what was on screen was what I was working on. Trying to figure out that. It's really, it's coming along. Making progress. Trying to figure out the buttons. The workflow. Media, it's kind of strange how this is, it feels so new. Even though I've worked in After Effects before and done similar things. I don't know why it feels so new. I don't know, maybe I've never made like a lyric type music video before where I'm trying to get the words to sort of match the words animation to sort of match what the lyrics are saying. I mean, it's cool. Trying to figure out the workflow here. Working mainly right now today in the keyframe editor. But yeah, mostly it's just trying to get familiar with the workflow. seeing these up like this, like I'm starting to get it, I think. Starting to see it. Starting to make sense of what's how the layout of this works and the workflow. We're not using the spreadsheets at all today, though. The tricky part is really we're trying for today to sync it with the audio, which that was like the first step, was just putting this text, blocking it onto where it goes in the music, with the music, and the markers didn't really work for me. Maybe because I'm streaming, but I was having some sort of lag here with the audio. So I had to just look at the waveform, and I know that it's going to be like, these are going to be the, like, either the talking. Yeah, so those are her lyrics. We can kind of see it in the waveform and line it up that way. A little bit of, a bit of experimentation of how to do this. But yeah, cool. This is, I think, at the end of today, I'm going to probably leave this project behind and not pick it up for next time, and just reapproach with a different type of project. But it's a good learning experience here. So media in and loader nodes, yeah, so they have gamma space controls in the inspector that let you identify and remove the gamma curve without the need to add another node. If your files include gamma curve metadata, oh yeah, we read this before. So the gamma space, more color science, file lookup table node. The file lookup table node found in the LUT category of the effects library lets you do a conversion using any LUT you want, giving you the option to manually load LUTs into the ALUT. Yeah. All right, we saw this guy with a transformed linear gamma. It's not destructive though, we're just previewing it. And then if you choose a gamut view LUT, then choose edit from the bottom of the lookup table, configure it. So we played around with that. That's why we got this kind of cool look here, but that's not really how you're supposed to use lookup tables, I think. I mean, the way that their main purpose or professional purpose is to synchronize the color spaces to be properly displayed for the thing that it goes to. But here's a tip: if your monitor is calibrated differently, you need to select a lookup table that matches your calibration. I wondered about that. I always wondered about that because I calibrated my display. Whatever. I'll think about this stuff in my sleep. Whether you use the gamut view LUT or the lookup table for your specific monitor calibration, you can save the viewer setup as the default. Save the gamut lookup table setup as the default viewer setup. Right-click in the viewer and then choose Settings, Save Default. For every comp, the viewer will now be pre-configured based on the saved defaults. And then using Resolve Color Management. If you're using the Fusion page within Davinci Resolve, you have the option of enabling Davinci Resolve Scene Preferred Color Management instead of inserting gamut and Indian log nodes. When DaVinci Y RGB color managed RCM is enabled, the color of media in nodes in the Fusion page is handled differently. The RCM automatically determines the input color spaces of all files used for all media in nodes in the Fusion page, which then automatically get converted to linear gamma. The media out node then gets converted back into the color processing mode to get graded in the color page or further edited in the edit page timeline. So despite the seeming complexity of color management, using RCM is actually simple. It's easy, guys. In essence, all you have to do is A, turn on RCM, and B, choose the color processing mode and output color space combination you want. To enable Resolve color management, open the color management panel of the project settings. So we go over here. Go here, project settings, color management. Choose Davinci RGB color managed. Okay, that's already there. On the color science drop down menu, it's already selected. Check the automatic color management box for a simplified selection, or uncheck the box to adjust the color processing mode and output color spaces. Oh, here. Wait. Oh, maybe I want this. I think oh. Ooh. Check the automatic color management box for a simplified thing. We don't have that. Oh, Davinci RGB color man. Ooh. HDR color grading best used when the majority of source material is HDR. I think this is actually an HDR. I don't know. It's 32-bit. I don't know if that means that it's HDR or not, though. Anyways, you can do white color manage and then HDR Rec 2020 intermediate, or set the desired options for the color processing mode and output color space RCM settings. Override the input color space for differently recorded clips in the media pool. Enable Davinci RGB color management as explained above. Save and close the settings dialog in the media pool. Select the clip you want. To assign a new input color, right click one of the selected clips and then choose the input color space that corresponds to those clips from the context menu. What if we just click buttons? If I go back to here, does everything go back to normal? Okay. So let's just smash some buttons and see what happens. I don't know what this is. I think actually this is the thing that makes the Instagram videos look sweet. I think. Okay, what if I do that? Oh, whoa! I mean, it's kind of busted, but wait, hold up. What if we put this to full? I think this looks cooler, doesn't it? I mean those are some busted pixels there. That's kind of busted. It's fried, as the people say. But No. I do think these colors look different though, don't they? What if we go back to there? If we go mess around with this. I just switch it back to this and then we see what happens when I press save. Press save. Yeah, that's different. That changes things. Huh. Huh. Color science. I have no idea what I'm doing. Smash all. Oh, it's still an HDR. Wait, what if I go here, enable HDR? I'll just turn these off, and let's see again if it changes anything about this image. Nothing seemed to change. When we go and we smash these buttons in this way, something seems to happen. PQ, what does it say? HDR grading environment best used when the majority of the source material is HDR. Suitable for wide gamut SDR and HDR deliverables. So what's the difference between HLG and PQ? Smash the buttons. Okay, whatever. Press save. Okay, wait. Now that's different. Again, what if we now with this enable those? Nothing. I mean, is this the same? Oh, it is. This is what we had before. Okay, what if we just look at this as we smash these buttons this way? Turn off this and then convert it back. What's the takeaway here? I think the takeaway is that I just want to be I think I want to just have this as HDR, don't I? I don't know the difference here. But I think HDR good. I think that's the takeaway. Yeah, HDR good. Okay. Alright, we're playing around with these things. So using RCM eliminates a few steps since the input color space math used to transform the source preserves all wide latitude image data, making highlights easily retrievable without any extra steps. The RCM enabled, with RCM enabled, RCM. I don't even see where is that. Just changed it a little bit as well. What was different about that? Oh, PQ. Oh, PQ and H. Oh. More color good. HDR good. Switching to the Fusion page converts the image to linear and enables the lookup table button. in the viewers with the managed lookup tables. Do I have anything on? Oh, I do. Oh my god. This is everything. Everything is so... such a ridiculous testing I'm doing here. What if we put it back, disable this? Let's just see where we go. Wow. That's quite the difference. I'm on a HDR monitor, but that has to be coming through on the stream as well. Like, that is quite the difference. And I do think I want to watch the stream. Huh, that's cool. That's cool. Let's put the levels here instead. Levels? What? Color levels? Color curves? Color gain? Is that what I'm looking for? They don't just have a... color space, color palette, color depth, Scendian log, nope. Clean plate, color compressor, color corrector, color curves, color corrector. Color curves. Color gain? Is that... We've got gain, saturation, balance, hue, ranges. Color space, color palette, color generator, color corrector. I think this is what I was looking for. I'll turn down the... Anyways, that was color corrector node. That's kind of what I was looking for. Color corrector. And then let's see, using RCM, right. Okay. Using ACE's color management in Resolve. How are we doing on time? We're almost done for today. Are we almost done with this chapter? Let's finish this chapter and then be done. Skim through this part. Using Resolve color management. Yes, we just saw that. Using ACE's color management in Resolve. The ACE's color encoding specification color space is another standard for managing color throughout an entire production. It's designed to make start to finish scene referred color management a reality for digital cinema workflows. What's it? It's designed to make start to finish scene referred color management a reality. Just like Davinci Resolve's RCM, ACES makes it easier to extract high precision, wide latitude image data from raw camera formats to preserve high quality image data from acquisition through the color grading process and to output high quality data for broadcast viewing, film printing, or digital cinema. Encoding. ACES works by assigning an input device transform to every camera, an acquisition device. The IDT specifies how media from that device is converted into the ACES color space. At the end of the pipeline, an ODT is applied to convert the image data to ACES color space into the gamut of your final output. Similar to setting up RCM, Davinci Resolve's color management project settings can be configured for ACES, which carries through the Edit, Fusion, and Color pages. And then note, when using Fusion Studio, the Open Color IO framework is used for ACES color management. The Color Science drop-down menu in the color management panel of the project settings is used to set up the ACES color management in Davinci Resolve. You can, same place, set up for ACES the color science. Using this drop down, you can do color science. Select the stuff. Just like the other section, you can select the thing that's correct for the thing. Select the input, the version, you do all the right things. And then using OCIO for ACES color management in Fusion. When using Fusion Studio, which we're not using, so we don't have to read this section, great. Applying OCIO LUTs in the viewer. The viewer also includes OCIO view lookup tables to calibrate the viewers. Once the OCIO color space view lookup table is selected from the lookup table menu above the viewer, choosing edit for the same menu opens a dialog where you can load the OCIO config file. And then by default, the same standard options are available in the view lookup table. However, clicking the Browse button allows you to load the same config file you loaded into the OCIO color space node. Once loaded, all the expanded OCIO options are available. If you selected the OCIO color space node to output ACES CG, you use the OCIO view lookup table to go from a source setting of linear sRGB to an output setting of sRGB, or okay, whatever. So the OCIO color space view lookup table dialog is used to configure the viewer when using the OCIO color space node in the node editor. So that's OCIO is for the viewer. All right, so tip, if your monitor is calibrated differently, you will need to select a lookup table that matches your calibration. All right, that is good to know. But anything else here? To set up the OCIO, you can click the LUT menu and select edit, and then in the view lookup table editor that opens, set the source's color space to linear or sRGB. All right, and then to save it, you can same deal, right click on the viewer, choose settings, save defaults. Now you're good. Okay. All right, cool. Sweet. Right at 10. So tomorrow we're going to pick up at Understanding Image Channels, where we demystify how Fusion handles image channels. Sweet. All right, and this was our comp for today. Kind of syncing up, trying to figure out a workflow for how to sync what we're making with audio, because audio is cool, and we're trying to make cool visuals. But so this was more of a proof of concept. So we got just some basic fonts, simple animations, trying to have these motivated by the... Yo, Michael! Missed you. It was a tough stream. You missed a tough one. But now there's the sky's the limit at this point. Missed you. This was I was trying to figure out a workflow for syncing animation with the with audio. And I started off, I'll try to summarize. I started off by trying to like do the markers here. So I was like setting up markers that carry over into the Fusion page. But the thing was that I was trying to set the text to match what the vocals were. And so for that, I found it was easier just to literally pull up the waveform here. And you select all these. You can see them in a row here. And it syncs up nicely with like higher. This is the waveform for higher than the floor. And then there's like a space there. And so I was just going through and like manually lining these up. And basically the entire day of this was inside of the keyframes section. I stayed away from the spline editor, and it was about kind of like blocking out the words to match with the vocals here. And then reading, it was like color space stuff. I found out that actually I found some cool stuff out about the color space. That if you go into the settings here, by default it's on this. But if you go and you set it to, I was smashing buttons, but I think what I found was that if you do processing mode to HDR, if you have a HDR, like look, I can show you the example. This is the default, what it is. And watch the display. You saw it gets like more muted. I think you should be able to see that. But so if you have a HD, if you have an HD display, then I'm not figuring it out. I don't know like exactly, but I'm pretty sure that you have to set the settings here and enable HDR10. I think this is the thing that makes the Instagram posts look cool. Enabling this properly. Again, I don't know for sure like what the settings are, but you see it recolors it. I think that's yeah. That was the big breakthrough today, was realizing that you have to turn on HDR stuff to get that. Yeah, it's more it's got more like more colors to it. Yeah. And then I was messing around with with like a crazy lookup table here, a LUT, which is not what, I mean, whatever. Kind of cool. Kind of crispy though. That looks kind of cursed. But yeah. I'm gonna be on tomorrow though. So I am done. I'm kind of tired. I'm gonna close this project and probably not look back. Yeah, hope to see you, man. Glad you stopped by though. Thanks for saying hi. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.